what? Different parts of a cell, isn't it? And I know that you have read the chapter and that part is very clear to you. Today we are going to discuss about another important object that gives us, it's a luminous object, of course. It gives us light. But it works on electricity, it's a clue, works on electricity or by using the cells. Can you tell me which is that object, luminous object? Yes, absolutely right. It is the bulb. So today we are going to discuss about the bulb. Different types of bulbs are available in the market now. We could see varieties and varieties of bulbs, sizes, shapes, etc. So today I am going to discuss about the traditional type of bulb that I hope when you see this you may understand. Clear? Yes, this is the traditional type of bulb, and many of our houses also we are using the same type of bulb, but we prefer LED bulbs to this bulb. Okay, but still we would like to discuss the structure of this bulb. So just observe this bulb. It is the glass, or its glass is made up of what? Glass, and it is a transparent object. So this bulb, it is made up of what? Glass, and glass is what? Actually it is the transparent object. Clear? Yes, you can see very clearly. You can see which are the parts that are seen inside the bulb also, as the bulb is the transparent. It is made up of glass, and inside the bulb, hope you could see that filament is there. Can you see it? Yes. Inside the bulb we can see the filament, and this filament, it is made up of a metal known as what? Tungsten. Bulb is made up of glass. Glass is transparent, and inside the bulb we can see a filament. Hope it is clear, the filament. And the filament, it is made up of which type of metal? It is the tungsten. And the filament, it is attached to the bulb by using two thicker wires. Filament is attached by using two. How many thicker wires? Two thicker wires are there. And one wire, it is attached to the lower side of the bulb. One of the wire, two thicker wires, filament is attached to the bulb by using two thicker wires, and one wire, thicker wire, is attached to the lower side of the bulb. One wire is attached to the lower side of the bulb, and that is the positive terminal. One wire is attached to the lower part of the bulb, and it is the positive terminal, and the second wire is attached to the bottom of the bulb. Bottom of the bulb, second wire is attached, and it is the bottom of the bulb. Second wire is attached to the bottom of the bulb, and it is the negative terminal. Clear? So the filament is attached to the bulb by means of two wires, two thicker wires, and one wire is attached to the the lower part of the bulb, and that is the positive terminal, and one wire is attached to the bottom of the bulb, and that is the negative terminal. So the bulb is made up of glass. Glass is transparent. Inside the glass we can see the filament. Filament is made up of tungsten, and this filament is attached to the bulb by using two thicker wires. One wire is attached to the lower part of the bulb, that is the positive terminal. Second wire is attached to the bottom of the bulb, that is the negative terminal. Clear? And the bulb is partially vacuum. That is another important thing. Bulb is partially vacuum. Who can tell me what is meant by vacuum? That is it. Completely free. Partial means what? Korchu bhagam completely vacuum. Nothing is there. Then partially vacuum. Inside the bulb you can see nothing is there. It is filled with a gas known as what? Argon. Another important thing. It is filled with which gas? Argon. Have you heard of the argon gas? If you haven't heard, now understand. Inside the bulb, it is filled with which gas? Argon. And why this bulb is filled with argon gas? Because when that filament gets heated, it tends to break. To prevent the filament from breaking, to prevent the very, very important question for the examination, why the bulb is filled with argon gas? Why? Because, the filament, to prevent the filament from breaking. Because of what? Because of heat. The electricity passes through the bulb, and electric energy heats the tungsten filament, so it gets melt. So to prevent the filament or bulb from breaking, the inside the bulb which gas is filled? Argon is filled. Clear? Yes. So argon is filled in the bulb to prevent the filament from bursting or breaking if it heats. Okay. So now we can move on to the how does this bulb works. So when the electrical energy, electricity passes through the bulb, what happens? You know, the tungsten, the filament, it starts to heat. When electricity passes through the bulb, the tungsten filament, it heats up and it gets heated more. Then what happens? At high temperature, the tungsten filament starts to melt. Due to electrical energy, the filament starts to get heated and the filament gets melt at very high temperature, and what happens? It starts to emit light energy. Not only light, it starts to emit heat energy also. Clear? Yes. So when the electrical energy passes through the bulb, the tungsten filament gets heated and the filament gets melt at very high temperature. When it melts, it releases light as well as what? Heat energy. In the case of this bulb, what conversion takes place? In the case of bulb, electrical energy gets converted into, that is very important. In the case of bulb, you should note down that electrical energy get converted into heat and light energy. Okay. In the case of bulb, the electrical energy gets converted into heat and light energy. And in some situation, you know that when the filament can break. In some situation, we could see that this filament can be broken. The filament can be broken. Then we can call that bulb as fused bulb. And we are supposed to replace it. If the filament gets broken, it doesn't work at all. It doesn't give us what? Heat and light. Because we know when the filament melts only, we get heat and light energy. In some cases, it gets broken. In such a situation that we can say that the bulb got fused and we are supposed to replace this bulb. It is clear about the structure of the bulb. Bulb, it is a glass. It is made up of glass. It is transparent. Inside the bulb, tungsten filament is there, and the filament is attached to the bulb by means of two thicker wires. One wire is attached to the lower part of the bulb, that is the positive terminal. Another wire is attached to the bottom of the bulb, that is the negative terminal. And you know, inside the bulb, you could see the argon gas. What is the function of argon gas? Yes, it prevents the bulb from bursting if the filament gets heated. And how does the bulb works? When the electrical energy passes through the bulb, the filament starts to get heated, and at high temperature, the filament starts to melt. Melt means what? Uruga. Then what happens? It releases heat as well as what? Light energy. In the case of bulb, electrical energy gets converted into heat and light energy. Hope it is clear. What heat and light energy. In some situation, when the filament gets broken, we can say that bulb has got fused, and we want to replace that bulb by another, or we can replace that bulb with another bulb. Clear? Okay. Then we can move on to the another type of bulb that we all are familiar with. Who can tell me what it is? I will show an example. This is a LED bulb. In our home, we are using this. Many of us are using this LED bulb, and not only that, another type of LED bulb is visible here. Normal LED bulb, we are used for decorating, you know, for decoration purposes. For any celebrations, if you want to decorate your houses, decorate temple, mosque, church, etc. We often use, and buildings and all know, for festival seasons, we could see it is decorated with what? It is decorated with the, yes, LED bulb. Then what is the full form of LED? Light emitting diode. That is the full form of LED, light emitting diode. Clear? What is full form of LED? Light emitting diode. So this LED, and who can tell me How many colors of LED lights are available? How many colors? Yes, red, then green, yellow, blue and white. Yes. So, 5 colors of LED bulbs are available. Red, blue, green, yellow and white. Yes. So, and for decoration purposes, we are often using it. In electrical equipments, you know, our LED TVs are there. Isn't it? In TV we are using LED bulb, and in the houses we are using LED bulb. Then why we are giving this much importance to this LED bulb? When compared with the normal bulb, LED bulb has got two, you can see in this picture, two metallic strips are there. What is that? Metal strips. In the case of normal bulb, we can see the thin metallic wires are there. Thin metallic wires can be seen in the normal bulbs. But in the case of LED bulb, instead of these thin metallic wires, we can see one thick metal strips. Hope you can see in this diagram, in this picture, thick metal strips are there. So, we can use this LED bulb for nearly 1 lakh hours or 11 years. We can use this LED bulb for nearly continuously when you are 1 lakh hours or 11 years, we can use this LED bulb because it is powerful while comparing with the normal bulb. Because the normal bulb, we could see that thin metallic wires are there, but in the case of this LED, it is composed of one thick metallic strips are there. You can see in this picture, thick metal strips are there instead of the wires. So you can say that it has got lot of advantages. One advantage is that we can use it for nearly 1 lakh hours or how many years? 11 years. Not only that, some more advantages are there for the LED bulb. You know, it is power consuming. Power consuming. Produces less heat and almost unbreakable. These are some of the other advantages of what LED. This first one we had already seen. It can work for nearly 1 lakh hours or 11 years. Another one, you know, power consumption is very less. കുറച്ച് current മതി work ചെയ്യാൻ. That is power consumption. Electricity bill കുറവാവും when we are using this LED bulb. Power consumption very less. And next one is that it produces less heat. When we touch this bulb, no, as I have already shown you this bulb, after working for some hours, no, when we touches it, we can feel the heat. We can feel the hot. But when we touch this LED bulb, the situation is different. We won't feel much heat. Not only that, it is almost unbreakable. This bulb, when we touch it somewhere also, it can be broken into pieces. But LED bulbs, no, it is almost unbreakable. Clear? So these are some of the advantages of LED bulb over the normal bulb. LED bulbs are available in different colors: red, blue, green, yellow and white. And we are substituting LED bulbs in majority of the electrical equipments in our own houses. Instead of normal bulb, we are using LED bulb. For decoration purposes, we are using LED bulb. And what are the advantages of LED bulb? First one, we can say that instead of normal, in the case of normal bulb, we can see thin metal wires are there. But in the case of LED bulb, you can see thick metallic strips are there. So we can use it for nearly 1 lakh hours or 11 years. Second one, less power consumption is very less. Power consumption is very less. Next one, it produces less heat. And last one is what? It is almost unbreakable. Clear? So these are the advantages of LED over the normal bulb. Well, that's the reason why people prefer to use LED bulbs. Now then another thing is that in the case of LED, electricity flows only in one direction. That is from positive terminal to negative terminal. Electricity flows only in one direction, that is from positive terminal to negative terminal. Clear? So this longer wire, it is the positive terminal, and the shorter wire, it is the negative terminal. Don't forget it. long wire it is the positive terminal and short wire it is the negative terminal. Here positive and the negative terminals, and the positive terminal of the LED wire can be connected. You can see this is the cell. When we make the electric circuit, boys, you may know it. Okay, electric circuit, that time positive terminal can be attached. This is a positive, isn't it? The cap structure is there, it's a positive. So the positive terminal is attached to the positive part of the cell, and the negative terminal is attached to the, this is the negative, and this is attached to this negative part. That is very important while we make the electric, while we using this LED bulb to operate any electrical equipment or lighting any lamp. Bulbs we can arrange it like that. Positive part or terminal of the LED bulb can be connected to the positive side of the cell, and the negative terminal can be connected to the negative side of the cell. Hope it is clear about the structure, about the different parts of bulbs. We have discussed about normal bulb and the LED bulb. Okay children, now we can move, just discuss about some of the fill in the blanks that is given in the textbook. Page number 169. Okay, yes. A set of electric cells is called a battery. A set of electric cells is called a battery. Next one. The filament in a light bulb is made up of it is made up of? Tungsten. Today we have discussed about it. The filament in a light bulb, it is made up of tungsten. Next one, third question. The rod inside an electric cell is made of carbon. The rod inside an electric cell is made of carbon. Okay. Then fourth and fifth we can discuss in the next class. Then tick the next section. Tick the true statements and cross the false ones. Okay. Yes. First one, a bulb converts electrical energy into light energy. Yes, true. Plastic. Okay, then Third question, the longer wire of an LED is its negative terminal. Is it negative terminal longer wire? No, longer wire is what? Positive only. Yes. Then last question, bulbs last longer than LEDs. Bulbs last. Is it true or false? Which one lasts longer? Last longer means what? Coronal work. Is it normal bulb or the LED? Yes, it is the LED. So the statement is false. Next we can move on to the question answer. Why is tungsten used as a filament in a bulb? Who can tell me the answer of that question? Why we are using tungsten? So many other metals are there. Then why we are using the tungsten? Yes. Tungsten is used as a filament in the bulb because it melts at a very high temperature. What is melting? Uruga. Tungsten melts at a very high temperature. It is because of that we are using tungsten as filament. Next question. Name the gas filled in an electric bulb. What's the name of the gas? Yes, argon. Next one. Then we can move on to the section 4. Second question. Why are electric bulbs filled with argon gas? The bulb has a partial vacuum and is filled mostly with argon gas. Why? Yes, I could see some are telling the answer. This gas protects the tungsten filament from heat. That's very important, and prevents it from breaking. Instead of argon, if we are using some other gas, the bulb can break or the filament can break. So to prevent the filament from breaking, we are supposed to use what? Argon gas. Next one, why are LEDs preferred than ordinary bulbs? We have discussed so many advantages of LED bulbs. Tell me one by one, what are advantages of LEDs? Yes. LEDs, in the case of LED, we can see what? Thick metal strips. In the case of normal bulb, we can see thin metallic wires. And this LED bulb, it can work for nearly 1 lakh hours or 11 years. 1 lakh hours or 11 years. That's the first advantage. Second one, less power consuming. Korchu electricity madi. Third one, what is that? It produces less heat. Thotta pettathu kai pollilla. Last one is it is almost unbreakable. So these are some of the advantages that help or that make us use LED bulbs over the normal bulb. So dear children, go through the textbook thoroughly, complete all the activities. As I used to say every time, read each and every line thoroughly because you can expect questions from any section.